What's up, Transformdom? This is Ben here, and today we're going to take a look at the Deformation aircraft DS-01 Crimson Wings. And this is Deformation Space Masterpiece Scaled Interpretation of Starscream. And so here's the box from the front. One side, other side, top, bottom, and back. I'm really impressed with how small the Deformation box is. I mean, you can see the height, it's much smaller. And a side-by-side comp, look at that, how thin this box is. So let's crack this guy open. No seal. And here's what's inside the packaging. We got the instruction manual, Starscream's null rays. Wow, this looks really big. You got extra face plates, and here is Crimson Wings. Alright, a little bit of scuffing here. Okay, the scent of the plastic isn't as aromatic, I guess. Oh, very soft ratchets, friction, and I don't think much of it is painted. This doesn't look painted. Yeah. Whoa. Oh my god, this pin joint is so tight for the pin joint, and this hip skirt is so tight. I like that there's a slight smirk on his face. Okay, let's get down to the review. Standing tall, slender, and sleek, Crimson Wings joins the array of Starscream impersonators. But will this be the one that takes the crown for the best Starscream? My first impression of the toy is how squared off everything on this mold seems to be. Squared shoulders, squared forearms, squared chest, squared head, squared shins. Even the part from the body to the wings are level to give a squarish feel. I guess Crimson Wings just feels blocky. The red and blue tones on the Starscream look suiting, while the primary beige colors are definitely lighter compared to the official Starscream, and I think I like this beige look better. As for the feel of this toy, most of the plastic feels good, and I feel like it's the usual kind of ABS plastics that I prefer. There is a little heft on this toy, even if the die cast are just about the same on the bigger Takara Masterpiece toys. In my opinion, the biggest letdown on this toy has to be the materials and the lack of paint, I think, for the red bits around the air intakes, chest, and hips. The plastic feels like it's made of nylon, although it's a little higher in quality compared to the recent Magic Squares toys I bought. The painted stripes on the wings appears to have a little bit of an overspray. These definitely lowered the impressions I have on Crimson Wings. Having only owned the Transform Element Mirage, the quality of the plastic and the paint apps on this toy makes me feel like Deformation Space ain't Transform Element, but I could be wrong. The design on Crimson Wings looks like it's a mesh between the New Age Lucifer and the Market Toys Meteor. The look of the backpack and how the tail fins kind of folds in to the shins reminds me of New Age, while the chunkier, blockier sculpt reminds me of Market Toys. Compared to the official MP52 Starscream, Crimson Wings only comes with 2 extra faceplates and his 2 iconic null rays. The iconic null rays were a little hard to fit into the biceps, and I had to kind of rub down some of the sprue marks that was in one of the pegs. Now, we can easily swap up the faceplates by lifting up the head and using a spudge to lift the faceplate off. Then just tab in the new faces. So here's Crimson Wings with his stoic face, his smiling face, and his smirking face. So here's Crimson Wings from the front, side, other side, back, bottom, and top. Here's Crimson Wings with MP45 Bumblebee, Grenadier, Sunstreaker, Ironhide, Shockwave, MP52 Starscream, Soundwave, and MP36 Megatron.
Initiating Viscan technology.
Using my Viscan tech, here are the painted app bits. This toy feels like it's completely painted from head to toe, although not at a premium finish when compared to other third-party companies. The red nylon plastic also almost feels like it's not painted at all. But the notable painted bits are the eyes, face, chest intakes and grills, stripes on the wings, knee pads, shins, and feet.
Employing Cold Sense technology.
Using my Cold Sense tech, here are the die-cast bits. Die-cast detected on the feet.
Compiling Tune Screen technology.
Using my Tune Screen tech, here are the Tune accurate bits, the helmet, shoulder intakes, biceps, forearms, hands, null rays, hip skirts, thighs, knee pads, and feet. For the non-tuned bits, and I'm nitpicking here, the waistline looks too squarish, the kink on the crotch, and the width of the shins. Crimson Wings with the old school MP11 color scheme is a good compromise between what we learned from the old school Masterpiece days, with highly detailed panel linings and a tail section that is painted similarly to some episodes of the cartoon, and to our modern Masterpiece toys. The transformation was extremely difficult in that everything has to be precisely in place for everything to fit and tap in nicely. The experience was a lot worse than that of the MP52 KOs that I got to play recently, but when everything fits, Crimson Wings looks great. There's also a very smart transformation technique in that the upper limbs tucks away into the calves to define a unique Masterpiece moment we always find in Takara Tomy MPs. This is definitely a highlight of this toy. It is interesting that modern MPs are rethinking where things can be stored away in either bot or out modes. One weird point about this toy is that when we look at the underbelly, there seems to be a missing cockpit. Not a deal breaker, but it does look unfinished. For articulation in alt mode, we got the mandatory cockpit that opens and closes, as well as the obligatory landing gears and wing flaps. The rear thrusters on Crimson Wings goes down, but does not go up. And for accessories, we have the converted null rays into missiles or payloads. So here's Crimson Wings from the front, side, other side, back, bottom, and top. Let's do some comps. Here's Crimson Wings with MP45 Bumblebee, Sunstreaker, Ironhide, MP11 Starscream, and MP52 Plus Thundercracker.
Initiating VisScan technology.
Using my VisScan tech, here are the painted up bits. After transforming this toy, I can say for sure that the red nylon plastics are not painted. But for notable painted bits, we have the painted stripes on the wings and vertical stabilizers.
Employing cold sense technology.
Using my cold sense tech, here are the die-cast bits. Die-cast detected on the feet.
Compiling tune screen technology.
Using my Toon Screen tech, here are the Toon accurate bits. We have the nose cone, cockpit, air intakes, payloads, engines, and stabilizers. And for the non-Toon bits, we have the shape of the wings, especially at the tip, and the paint abs on the body and vertical stabilizers, which can be argued depending on the studio production work. So what do I think about Crimson Wings? Let's talk about 3 pros and 1 would be better. 1. I think the inclusion of the waist swivel gives it a little bit more articulation. 2. I like the balance of the toy. I had fun posing him like this very natural walking pose that I couldn't do with the MP52. 3. I kinda like the beige color on Crimson Wings. It is the color of the many iterations of Starscream. The 1 would be better would be the engineering tolerances during transformation. The instruction manual wasn't helpful, although I found a trick to help align everything to better tab everything in. The experience was a lot less intuitive compared to Takara Tomy's designs. So would I recommend this toy? I think many folks have made up their minds at this point. But if you haven't, I think the MP52 has a lot more play value, a more natural sculpt, and the finishing on Crimson Wings just doesn't feel as premium to MP52. The only objective plus points that Crimson Wings has over MP52 has to be the waist swivel and the balance. The rest are kind of subjective, but these are my thoughts. What are yours? Please leave them in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and share buttons and smash the sub and bell icons for more future vids. Again, this is Ben signing off, and I'll see you on the flip side.